Good morning, children. Today we are going to see Science Unit 5 Plants in Daily Life. Children, this lesson is from your third term book. You all know that we are living in a planet called Earth, and we can say this as a green planet because plenty of natural plant resources are present around us. Plants may be used for many purposes like decoration, erosion and climate control, foods, beverages, flavoring, medicines, fabrics, rope and other fibers, wood, rubber, dyes, paper and many other uses. Many clothes are still we are using are made from plants, that is cotton, which is grown on plants and harvested. Apart from this, we are getting fruits, vegetables, seeds, flowers, food from plants. The benefits may be domestic, commercial, environmental or aesthetic. Plants bring about economy to the country in a large extent, and it is increasing the wealth of any country largely depends upon its agriculture and food plant products. Now let us see what is economic botany. Plants as food, spice yielding plants, medicinal plants, fiber yielding plants, timber yielding plants and ornamental plants. Children, first we see about plants as food. Now we all know that most of the food item where we are getting from plants only. So plants are the main source of food for human beings. And whatever plants we use for food items are known as food plants. And we eat different parts of plants such as root, stem, leaf, seed, unripe and ripe fruits. We can classify the food plants as vegetables, cereals, pulses. And not only this, plants also give us coffee, tea, sugar and raw materials for oil. First we see vegetables. Already we said we are eating different parts of the plant. And first we see roots. We are eating roots like beetroot and carrot. What we are eating is root part of the plant. Leaves, you all know that the curry leaves what we are using daily in our food item is the leaf part of the plant and cabbage. Stems, we are eating stem part of potato and yam. Flowers, example we can say banana flower and cauliflower. Fruits, amla and guava. Now children, you are familiar with this amla because that is rich in vitamin C. We have to take amla to increase our immunity. Cereals are any grass cultivated for the edible components of its grain. Example, rice, wheat, bajra and millet. Pulses. Pulses are the edible seeds of plants and they belong to legume family. The dry edible seeds of plants in the legume family are called pulses. And these pulses are stored in pods. Pods are nothing but we can split open on both sides when it ripes. We can say example Bengal gram, green mung bean. Now we see about spices. Spices means it gives aromatic or some favorable flavor to the food items. They are used for aromatic purpose and they are present in tropical region. We can get spices from the bark or roots of certain plants, leaves, flowers or stems of plants primarily. They used for, already we said, for flavoring, coloring or sometimes we can use it for preserving purpose. And now we are going to see the spices used in India. Now what you are seeing is cardamom, pepper, curry leaves, fenugreek, fennel, bay leaves, cumin, coriander leaves or coriander seeds, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, medicinal plants. Some of the plants present around us are used to cure some of our diseases and we call these plants as medicinal plants and they are used to cure burns, cut, cold, fever, sneezes and more. Why we are using these plants as medicinal plants? Because some chemical compounds present in the medicinal plants act against insects, fungi and some germs. So that only from those days onwards we are following the medicinal plants. Medicinal plants are considered as they are the rich sources of ingredients which can be used in drug preparation. We are preparing drugs by using the medicinal plants. And during the COVID-19 period also, some people followed Siddha medicine. And in that, we have taken the barks or leaves of some plants and we made syrup water from that and we had it for the COVID-19. And now we are going to see the parts of plant used for medicinal use. You all know that amla is a fruit and it is rich in vitamin C. And also it cures vitamin C deficiency diseases like scurvy and it also improves our immunity. Tulsi and the part what we are using as medicine are leaves and seeds, and they are used for cough, cold, bronchitis, and they are used as expectorant. It is nothing but they are used for respiratory problems. Aloe, and we all know that the leaves are used for laxative. Laxative means they are used to treat and prevent constipation, and for healing wound, skin burns, and ulcer. Neem, we are very well know about this. The bark, leaf, and seeds are used for skin diseases. Turmeric, it is the rhizome part of the plant, and it helps body to fight against foreign invaders. That means germs. Fiber yielding plants. Children, we have seen that we are getting fiber from plants only, and they are called fiber yielding plants. Plants which give us fibers that is necessary for our uses are called fiber yielding plants. And the fiber from these plants can be spun into thread. Spun means draw out and twist to convert them into yarn. So they are converted into thread, rope, and cloth. These fibers are called natural fibers because we are getting it from the plants. So they are called natural fibers. We can classify fiber yielding plants into two types. One is based on use, and the second one is based on the plant parts. Under based on use, we are having three types. One is the textile fiber, and this textile fiber is used for making cloth. From the topic itself we can understand that is used for making cloth. Example, cotton. Second one is cordage fibers. It is used for making rope. So from where we are making rope, children? Yes. Example, coconut fiber. From the coconut fiber we are making rope. Third one, filling fibers. That is used for making mattresses. Example, silk cotton. And based on the plant parts, we can classify four types. First one is plant fibers include seed hairs. And for this example we can say cotton. Stem fibers, example, jute and flax. Leaf fibers, example, agave plant. And fourth one, husk fibers, example, coconut. And in India, jute crop is grown in 7 states. Which are the states? West Bengal, Assam, Odisha, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Tripura, and Meghalaya. And from this 7 states, West Bengal alone accounts for 50% of raw jute production. Timber yielding plants. Children, timber means nothing but wood, where we are getting from plants only. It is used for the construction of buildings and for making of furniture. And we use wood for many purposes, like why we are using wood, no? Because they are having the following features, so that only we are using wood for building and also for making furniture, because of the durability, stylish finishing, and they are resistant to temperature changes. So for these qualities we are using wood. Now we can see the classification of timbers. All commercial timbers are classified into two types. They are hardwoods and softwoods. First we see about the hardwoods. Hardwoods are angiosperms. Angiosperms are nothing but they are the flowering plants. Flowering plants will come under the angiosperms. And the largest group of land plants. Most of the plants present around us are flowering plants. And they are having high quality furniture we can make from these angiosperms. Decks, flooring and wooden construction are being made only using these hardwoods. Example, we can say teak and jackfruit. Softwoods, and they come from gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are nothing but non-flowering plants. Some of the angiosperms also yield softwood. And these softwoods have a wide range of applications. For what purpose we are using these softwoods? Children, we are making plywood, wooden boxes, medium density fiber board. In short, we can say MDF. And also, we are using these softwoods for making paper. Example, katambu and pine tree, we can say. The finely cut wooden boards from the wood are layered one above the other to make plywood. Ornamental plants, they are plants that are grown for decorative purposes in gardens, houses, landscape and parks. The cultivation of ornamental plants is called floriculture, which forms a major branch of horticulture. What is that? The cultivation of ornamental plants is called floriculture, which forms a major branch of horticulture. Horticulture is nothing but the art or practice of garden cultivation and management, that is called horticulture. Now we grow some shrubs like hibiscus, crepe, jasmine and crotons and climbers in our garden. We grow these plants in our garden for the beauty of the garden. So these plants are called ornamental plants. Interrelationship between plants and animals. Animal-plant interactions. Children, not only human beings, animals also depend on plants for their food, and shelter. This relationship benefits not only animals but also plants. Both plant and animals, they get benefited. So this kind of relationship is economically important. So that we call it as interrelationship between plants and animals. For example, silkworms feed on mulberry leaves and live off mulberry plants. Where it is seen, it is present on the mulberry plant. This relationship between a worm and a plant is economically useful because we are getting silk from silkworm, that is used for us in the silk production. Animals, pests and birds are essential for cross-pollination of plants. Now we are seeing beautiful bright color of flowers and we are getting sweet smell and honey from the flowers attract insects. When these insects go from one flower to another, they leave the pollen grains from their body. This results in cross-pollination. About this cross-pollination, children, you have studied in your 5th standard itself. They take the pollen grains from insects or birds. They take the pollen grains from one flower to the another flower. That results in cross-pollination. And this results in the formation of vegetables and fruits. The insect pollinators and the birds need to be protected to produce the best yield. Bees are the best pollinators. See, not only they are the best pollinators, these bees, from the bees we are getting honey also. They give us sweet honey. Plants and algae living in coral reefs are the food for variety of fishes. Now where you can see this corals under the sea. Fisheries work is done in these areas. Animals and birds play an important role in spreading seeds of various plants. The digestive enzymes in the digestive system of birds soften the protective layer of the seeds and make it easier to germinate. If this natural relationship between animals and plants are affected, it shows its impact on economy too. So that only we should protect the nature and not to disturb it. Other uses of plants. In that we are having 5 headings. They are other uses of plants only we are seeing. In that the first topic, maintain soil fertility. Second one, prevent soil erosion. Third one, biofuels. Fourth one, rubber and natural plastic. Fifth one, neem oil coated urea. In that first we see about maintain soil fertility. Plants maintain soil fertility. Their droppings, plants drop and sheddings of leaves, fruits and other parts where they are falling in the soil only. And what happened to the leaves, fruits and other parts? They degrade in the soil to form humus. Because days together they fall on the soil and they degrade, disintegrate in the soil to form a humus, that we can call it as natural fertilizer. The humus increases soil fertility. And you have studied in your 5th standard about the nitrogen fixing bacteria. We can say that, example, plants like blue-green algae and some bacteria like Pseudomonas, they are used to fix nitrogen in the soil for agriculture. Second one, plants prevent soil erosion. Because plants, when they grow in dens, that means they are present in a particular place, abundant plant is present, means it will prevent soil erosion. In times of wind or flood, the fertile top layer of soil is carried away by air or water. That is called soil erosion. And if more plants are present in that area, they prevent the erosion of soil. If plants are present abundantly in that area, they prevent the soil eroding from that place. So, plants prevent soil erosion. Biofuels. We grow some plants for the purpose of biofuels. And these fuels give less toxic and it does not emit harmful gases, and we can say these biofuels are also less expensive. Example, we can say Jatropha. And some plant waste is used to generate electricity. And example, we can say sugar mills. Rubber and natural plastic. We obtain rubber for tire, wiring, seats, etc. From where, children? From the plants only. And natural plastics are also produced from plants and they are biodegradable. Children, natural plastics produced from plants are biodegradable. So, it does not give any harm to our environment. Children, nowadays we are using artificial plastics. They are giving harmful and spoiling our earth environment. So we use natural plastic to save our earth. Now we see about neem oil coated urea. Children, we all know that farmers are using fertilizer. You might have studied in your 5th standard. And what fertilizer do they use? Farmers in India used urea. For what purpose they are using this fertilizer? To increase the agricultural productivity. To increase the produce, they are using urea. Indian scientists made neem coated urea which released nitrogen slowly and helps the plant to absorb maximum nitrogen. So if they use this neem coated urea, slowly it will release nitrogen and the maximum absorption of nitrogen is by the plants will be present. It reduces the impact of urea on an environment.